Good afternoon. On behalf of Superintendent Hoffmeister and the Office of Federal Programs, I would like to welcome you to today's afternoon's webinar, where we're going to be talking about the District Homeless Liaison Training. So our agenda for today, we're going to talk about the standards for quality LEA McKinney-Vento programs, why we chose Kickstand. We're going to talk a little bit about the courses that it covers, the time frame for the homeless liaisons to get this online training completed, and there's going to be a short demonstration of the McKinney-Vento liaison credentialing site. Just as a housekeeping thing here, this PowerPoint will be posted on our website later this week. And if you have questions, if you would just type those in the chat box, and I will answer those after the presentation. Okay, standards for quality LEA McKinney-Vento programs. Just a little bit of background on this. Every program needs a set of standards to guide program planning. Standards provide a common basis for establishing measurable goals and implementing a program. In 2002, the National Center for Homeless Education, or NCHE, originally developed the standards and indicators for quality McKinney-Vento programs. In 2006, they were revised through a collaborative process that included state coordinators for McKinney-Vento programs, local liaisons, federal program staff, parents, and representatives from national organizations. Then again in 2017, NCHE convened a small group of state coordinators to review the 2006 version in light of the reauthorization of the McKinney-Vento Act and the Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015. These revised standards and indicators are intended primarily for local liaisons and other homeless education staff in local education areas, whether a district receives a subgrant or not, as well as for the coordinators in state departments of education who have McKinney-Vento training and oversight responsibilities for all LEAs and liaisons in their states. At the same time, these standards align with federal agency and program office priorities to improve state and local program performance and to improve educational outcomes for students experiencing homelessness. The revised standards for quality McKinney-Vento programs are divided into 4 broad categories to reflect 1, outcomes for homeless students, 2, LEA support activities, 3, LEA collaboration between the school district and community, and 4, LEA program management. Each of the standards reflects key provisions of the McKinney-Vento Act. The indicators reflect both requirements in the law and good practices stated in ways that are specific and measurable. There are 16 standards established by NCHE. In today's webinar, we are going to focus on only 2 of these under the LEA Program Management Standards. Number 13, which says the LEA local liaison has sufficient time, training, and support to carry out his or her duties. And number 15, the LEA provides professional development and other support to school personnel serving homeless children and youth. So what does Standard 13 mean for local district homeless liaisons? The liaison has sufficient time, training, and support to carry out his or her duties. Federal regulation, and it's cited here in case you need or want to look that up, requires each state plan to provide assurances that the LEAs will designate an appropriate staff person able to carry out the duties of the local liaison, and it requires the state and LEAs in the state will adopt policies and practices to ensure participation by liaisons in professional development and other technical assistance activities as determined appropriate by the Office of Coordinator. What about Standard 15? What does that mean for district homeless liaisons? Where it states that the LEA provides professional development and other support to school personnel serving homeless children and youth. Federal regulation requires that each LEA liaison ensures that school personnel providing services under this subtitle receive professional development and other support. So basically, this is talking about all staff in the school that comes into contact with students. That could be your cafeteria workers, could be your bus drivers, paraprofessionals, coaches, front desk staff, enrollment personnel, teachers, obviously janitors, all of those people that come in contact with these students. Here are references that you can check out if you have questions or want to do further research on this. So why Kickstand? Okay, so Kickstand is just a mechanism that we have found when we were out searching for something that would help us train the homeless liaisons here in the state, kind of as a way to kind of raise the bar here in Oklahoma and get everybody on the same page. It's a program that provides training that aligns with the standards mentioned above and the ESSA law, okay, stating where it says homeless liaisons are to participate in professional development and other technical assistance activities on a regular basis. So through consolidated monitoring, we found that many districts are not getting the proper training, and they're also not training the additional staff other than the homeless liaison properly. And so we wanted to help districts with that. So we found Kickstand. The training that the district homeless liaison receives with Kickstand is going to assist them with training the other personnel in the school. Again, to meet the provision there that they will ensure personnel providing services receive the professional development. OSDE has endeavored to assist all districts in the state meet these standards by providing, at no charge to the districts, this online training that will ensure compliance with the law. By participating in this training, districts will not have to use their funds to send their homeless liaisons for professional development. Again, why Kickstand? New requirements in ESSA mandate public school districts to carefully select and ensure capacity of the staff that they designate to serve as their McKinney-Vento homeless education liaisons. The online training developed by Kickstand was designed for you as the homeless liaison to provide information and resources to better understand the responsibilities of districts to identify and serve children, youth, and families experiencing homelessness, as well as to be confident and capable of performing all 10 duties required of liaisons in the ESSA McKinney-Vento Act. The specific goals of the online course for District McKinney-Vento liaisons include increased liaison capacity, the ability for you to do the task mandated in the ESSA McKinney-Vento law, reduce liaison turnover, to prevent overload and burnout from trying to do the job of the district homeless liaison, and to enhance the credibility and respect for the liaison role, or to help liaisons be seen as the experts in their districts so that they are heard, listened to, and respected. Also, the McKinney-Vento program continuity, consistency, and performance will be enhanced. And most importantly, maybe, is to better support our homeless children and youth. In the Kickstand online training, there are these 11 modules, 12 if you count the introduction. But so you're going to learn about awareness, policies and procedures, dispute resolution, identification, enrollment, school selection, transportation, access to services, school success, collaboration and coordination, resources, capacity, and compliance. So each one of those modules will have some reading to do, some have videos. There will be resources listed if you have questions or want to do further research. And then there will be a short little quiz at the end of each module, 6, 7, 8 questions, that you will answer those questions to show that you have completed the module and that you have learned the information that's in there. District Homeless Liaisons will have until the end of the school year to complete this online course. You can use your cell phone, tablet, laptop, desktop, any of those, so that you can easily fit these courses into your schedule where and when it works for you. After you complete Level 1, you will be issued a certificate verifying successful completion, and this certificate will represent sufficient documentation of McKinney-Vento training needed during consolidated monitoring. Okay, so we're going to take a short, or see a little demonstration of this.
The NACCE McKinney-Vento credentialing program is a web-based software as a service, meaning there is no need for special hardware or software installations. State coordinators work directly with implementation engineers through the implementation to get all liaison and coordinator accounts properly built and configured. The platform can be accessed anytime from any device with internet connectivity, allowing liaisons to work at their own pace. Once their accounts are created, liaisons receive an email message with their credentials and a welcome packet that provides them with all the guidance they need to begin instantly. The login process is as simple as inputting an email address and a password. On their dashboard, liaisons see their available courses, as well as an indicator of their overall progress within each course. The courses are built by McKinney-Vento experts and aligned to the McKinney-Vento and ESSA requirements. There are 3 levels of the credentialing course, each diving deeper than the last into the complexities of homelessness and the McKinney-Vento and ESSA requirements. Upon completion of each course, liaisons receive a certificate with their name, the course name, and the date of completion, signifying their mastery of the course material. As a course administrator, the credentialing program's reporting features allow coordinators to view liaison progress percentages in real time within each course. They can review individual liaisons' overall scores within a course, as well as the overall standards performance across an entire course. Available data lets coordinators look at the whole picture, individual assessment scoring, and even review right down to specific assessment items. Coordinators can also review usage time to see how much time liaisons have spent within the course. This allows for a holistic picture and not just liaison performance, but also of their time spent within the course. This can allow state coordinators to have directed conversations based on liaison needs. Administrators can get started after a short hour-long training on how to access the reports and how to customize the course. Course material can be adjusted to fit specific state needs, ensuring liaisons are fully prepared for the unique experience of their state. This also allows state coordinators to ensure competency-based professional development with consistent messaging and access to nationwide resources.
Okay, so everybody's back on, just looking at the chat box here. Again, so that was just a brief overview of what the website will look like. I will be sending out this week the spreadsheet of everybody's information, contact information, so that Kickstand can send that email out with your login credentials. We will get that information from the consolidated application in GMS, so you want to be sure that your district has the correct liaison's name and contact information in GMS, as that's the information that I will be using on the spreadsheet to send to Kickstand. So hopefully, our fingers crossed, you'll get that email next week and you can get started. Okay, any questions? And there already are some. If we're being monitored this year, do we still have until June 30th to complete the training? No, because you have to have that done before all of the documents are done. You don't have to have it done by December 2nd because you remember you have to have your documents in on your flash drive by December 2nd, but we will still have time after that to send back in other documents. So you can send that certificate in. And I think we have until April 13th. So you'll have till April 13th to complete it. Thank you. That was it. Should we also train our homeless liaison assistants? So after the district homeless liaison is trained, it is your responsibility to train other people. We are only paying for one access point at this time for each district. So the homeless liaison will be the one that is responsible for doing the training, but then you will be the one also that's responsible for training the rest of the people in your district. Will we be required to do this training every year? Homeless liaisons are required to do professional development every year. That's part of ESSA. Not sure that we'll be doing this every year, but that's what we're doing this year. Can you provide an example of what would count as training for teachers? Well, you would have to train them on how to identify homeless students, anything that would, how to work with them, who do they contact if they suspect they're homeless, how do they get in touch with you, what services might be available to them as homeless students, just, you know, things like that, right? Would I miss anything? Well, those of us who have only Title I-A homeless funds have access to the training. Every district homeless liaison will have access to this training. Every district liaison throughout the state, all 540 something districts, are required to do the professional development, regardless of whether you have a McKinney-Vento subgrant or not. Other questions? Is there a requirement for teachers to be trained or homeless liaisons only? Okay, so again, in ESSA, there is a provision where all homeless liaisons have to be trained or have to have professional development every year. It is then their responsibility to go back and train the staff, teachers included, every year. Some of my principals give me staff meeting time to train their teachers. That's a good time to do it when you have everybody there. Be sure that you are you have an agenda of that training and that you get everyone that's there participating, have them sign in. So when it is time for your consolidated monitoring, you have that available. You can just send that in. In order to meet that requirement, could the principal share a PowerPoint of information? Are you talking about the requirement of the staff being trained? You could always do a PowerPoint. The superintendent or whomever, most likely it would be the homeless liaison, would be able to do a PowerPoint and train their staff. Can the training be a PowerPoint with a quiz? Sure. You can set that training up however you want, however it works in your district. The idea, though, is that everybody gets trained and everybody is able to or ready to work with those students if and when they come to your district. Can you tell us when we will have access to these modules and how long it will take to go through each module. Again, I will be sending in a spreadsheet with liaison names and contact information this week. I'm hoping, at least when I spoke to Kickstand last, they told me it would not take long once they get that spreadsheet for them to get that welcome email out to everybody. So again, I'm hoping by next week or the very latest the week after that to have that out to all of the homeless liaisons. And how long will it take to go through each module? So that has been asked a lot. So I this weekend went in and redid the modules because it's been a while since I did it, and I did the whole thing this weekend, all 11 modules, and I didn't spend that much time. Obviously, I've been through it before, but I tried to think of myself as brand new and not just go right to the questions and answer those. It did not take that much time. And you don't have to do it all at once. You have from now until, if you're being monitored, April 13th, and if you're not being monitored, till June 30th to complete these. So could principals receive a brief overview and then share at a faculty meeting? So are you talking about a brief overview of what the modules are in Kickstand training? If the principal is the homeless liaison, they would have access to that. If not, they might want to get with their homeless liaison and have the homeless liaison put together something for them so that they could go over that at a faculty meeting. This will be, or this is being recorded, and it will be posted on our website probably later this week. Can you redo the modules if you do poorly? Yes, you can. You have 3 attempts, and if you need more than that, you just have to contact me and I can unlock it and you can have more attempts to do that. One thing that I'm excited about this is that it will show me if there are a lot of areas that a lot of people are needing more help, more training in, and then if there are webinars that I'm doing, I can gear those towards what a lot of people are having problems with. My district will be monitored 2021. Will we need to have documentation all teachers have been trained by December 2nd? For next year, yes, because all staff, all district homeless liaisons have to be trained every year. That's in law, okay? That's not our law, that's ESSA. Not all of them have to do Kickstand, but they all have to have training. Will there be any PowerPoints available to disseminate homeless info to teachers and counselors, etc.? The homeless liaison can make those PowerPoints from the professional development that they are getting from Kickstand. Kickstand does not have PowerPoints per se that can be used for the training. If our district is scheduled for on-site monitoring, when will the deadline be for teachers to be trained? They should be trained already for this year, basically, or at least having started training them. Right, and it could be a series of training. It's not just one training. You're not going to cover everything in one training session with your teachers and other staff. There's too much. What goes on the flash drive that is due on December 2nd? And I'm going to assume that you're talking about in respect to the homeless liaison training. If you would just put on there that your homeless liaison, how far they've gotten in the training or whatever, and that you will have the certificate to us by April 13th, that will work. Is there a list that shows when we will be monitored? There is a list on our website, I believe, that shows this monitoring cycle. Has the 3-year cycle on it. However, again, I want to reiterate that regardless of being monitored or not, you are required to do the professional development every year, and you are required to train staff members every year. Other questions? This is my contact information. Please do send a copy. I'm not sure what you want a copy of. Do we send the agenda and signatures of the training to you? You'll send that to your reviewer who is doing the consolidated monitoring for your particular district. This is my contact information here, my phone number and my email address. If you have any questions after we finish today, you can contact me directly and I will answer any questions that you may have about the training. Again, I want to remind you that it is the person who is listed as the homeless liaison for your district in GMS that will be receiving the information to do Kickstand and who will be responsible for doing the Kickstand training. So if you are going to assign someone different or you don't have that information in there yet, please get that in there as soon as possible. And if you wouldn't mind, send me an email because I have the spreadsheet done now. We're almost completed. So send me an email letting me know that you've changed that. Okay. Thank you for participating in our webinar this afternoon. Talk to you next time. Thanks.